Hey, welcome back to the episode of Instant Rom Podcast. I'm your host, Juan, as always. My co-host is here with me. Hey, Trip.
Hey.
How's it going?
Better now.
Yeah?
I'm with you. We're recording a podcast.
We sure
We
are.
sound beautiful.
Okay.
And I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm pretty good. I'm enjoying this beautiful Monday. Usually I hate Mondays, but
Whoa.
today there was nothing to do.
Why?
Besides go to the county fair because it is a holiday today. You know what? I didn't know you had the day off, though.
Yeah, fun fact. I get some holidays off. This is one of them.
Do you get a pick or?
Nah. It's like our company just have certain days off. So like 4th of July, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Memorial Day.
Which is today.
Yeah.
All day, baby.
I think that's pretty much it.
You don't get New Year's?
Probably New Year's.
Okay,
I don't remember.
That's what's up, man. Well, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so, Trip, what are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about a little show called Mob Psycho 100.
Yeah.
Now you guys might remember that we've talked about this show before, but now we're going to talk about it because Netflix, for the first time ever, has paired up with a Japanese studio, and they've created a live-action version of one of the best animes made by a person that should probably never have a live-action show adaptation of any of his works.
Anyways, we're doing Mob Psycho 100 live action.
Woo!
I think, was it last week was live action garbage?
Yeah, last week we did it.
Guess
and
what,
we
man?
Followed it up.
Guess what? It's a little special treat, a little more live action garbage, which is great. We were supposed to do this other show, and then this popped up out of nowhere. We're like, we have to review this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about in a bit. But before we get into that, Trip, how about you tell me how you are? How are you doing, sir?
Oh,
What's new in your life?
Oh, okay. So,
Who are you in love with? Who has tickled your fancy?
man, too many people to count. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah. How was the wedding?
Okay, so I went to a wedding.
Yeah,
and it was real fun. Mostly it was all right. Like, it's my roommate's like oldest friend got married, so congratulations to Brandon and Hillary. We went to the wedding. It was a blast. Got a nice spot in the shade for the ceremony, so that's always necessary.
Yeah,
and it was like a good day. It was kind of overcast, but there was still like a ton of sun that was peeking through, so it was nice and cool. And fuck, I'm all about that. Considering I fucking hate going outside, it's the worst.
Dude, talk to me. What was served for dinner?
Sandwiches.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
On pretzel buns.
Huh. What were the sides?
Like salad.
Was there an open bar?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
There was. I didn't drink that much because I didn't want to stay there that long.
That's fine. I guess you can forgive the food being sandwiches as long as there's an open bar. There should always be an open bar.
It was a good time.
Because Josh, who was your roommate, right? Was the best man. Did he give a sick ass toast?
Yeah, so we had some situations going on with the whole like timing of everything. So everything was pretty spaced out. We got a lot of time to mingle, is what I'm trying to say. So Josh beforehand was talking to the other groomsmen, and they were just like, okay, so we have to make our speeches short because it's going to go on forever, and everyone just like wants to get to the cake anyways. So we'll try to make our short speeches so that way it covers everything. It doesn't ramble too much. We got to hit the important points. Don't fuck it up. So Josh gave like a nice little, like maybe a minute or so long speech, just about how they've been friends forever and whatever. They've been through everything, all the normal stuff.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Super happy. Look at how happy they make each other. Good job, everyone. You're so happy, and we know each other so much, so I'm happy too. And then it goes on to Cooper Tebow. After the maid of honor, she gave a little speech that was essentially the same as Josh's.
Yeah. But in the girl form, so.
Yeah. And then Cooper Tebow, son of a gun, beautiful beaut. He fucking fit in a couple of Shrek things into his speech, because Brandon's the kind of man who
appreciates a good Shrek
loves
joke.
Some Shrek humor.
Yeah,
you know, he's a Shrek fan.
He's a connoisseur.
He has missed many events for a 5th, 6th, 38th viewing of Shrek. You know, so pretty much Cooper had told a story about that, and then he went ahead and said, "Love is like an onion." and made the comparison.
Good old Cooper Tebow.
Oh my god!
Did people get
so
what he was going for? Where people were like, "I'm so confused. What is he doing?"
Like a few of us were like, "Nah, he didn't. That fucking animal. He fucking didn't." It was mostly just like a couple of Brandon's friends. I don't think all of Brandon's friends even knew what was going on with it. But like a few of us were like, "Oh man, that was nuts! Why would he do that right now? What a son of a bitch!" Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then,
Okay, before you say anything, that being said, I'm not surprised Cooper Tebow would pull some shit like that, because Cooper Tebow wants to run for Congress one day. Cooper's got my vote. He's got the whole Latino vote behind me.
All right, now I'm going to talk.
Are you voting
more
for Cooper Tebow?
Maybe.
Are you voting for Cooper Tebow?
Not yet.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it.
I think that's adequate. He hasn't even run yet.
I want to talk to you about his political views after this.
All right, let's fucking do that.
Let's do it.
So essentially, my old roommate was there.
Oh yeah, no hair.
And I wasn't sure how that was going to go.
Did he have any hair?
He didn't.
Oh, nice.
But here's some things that happened. Came up to me and Leandra, said hi. We had an open seat next to us. This was before the ceremony.
And then you said, "You can't sit here."
And then he proceeded to go and sit as far from us as possible. And he didn't sit with anybody. He knew like a few people and he didn't sit with anyone. And I'm like, well, that's an interesting choice, but I'm kind of relieved. Now I don't have to make small talk that I might not want to make. And then I was talking to, it must have been Josh, my roommate. I was talking to him about Dylan, and he said that he has, like, because I noticed he has glasses now, and they're fake. He has fake glasses to look more professional. And honestly, he looks more approachable and more professional. It's weird.
But then as soon as he opens his mouth, it's like, "Oh, I don't want to talk to you."
Pretty much. But then he proceeded to get very drunk.
Oh, nice. Yes, there's always got to be one guy that does it.
And it was Cooper. It was Cooper and Dylan, and they were so fucking drunk. And they were the only people that were drunk at all. Oh, everyone else at the wedding had like a little bit to drink, but like they got fucking blasted.
How fast?
Too fast. But let me tell you this. Dylan is like not even 100, more than 100% more tolerable. He is a whole different person when he's drunk, and I am okay with it. He just needs to drink all the time, and then I don't have a problem with him.
Just always has to be in a state of total drunk.
Fucking blew my mind. Brandon and Hillary did the whole, like, they were being married thing. They had a lot of stuff going on. So I got to meet my friend's family and hang out with them for a while. And then at one point, well, everybody, they opened up, like, toasts to anybody.
Oh, yeah. That's always a weird one, because, like, who's going to fucking stand up and do this?
Yeah, and it'll last, like, a long time. And then my friend Kurt, he nudges me, and he's just like, fucking say something. You got to say something. Well, he didn't say fucking, but he said, say something.
Did Kurt wear a hat to the wedding?
Nah.
Fuck, for some reason I just always picture Kurt with hat.
Pretty much always has a hat.
So I can just imagine him like in a nice suit and has like a hat on.
No. He did wear jeans though.
Good old Kurt.
Fucking loved it. So he nudges me. He's like,
he wore jeans. He might as well have wore the fucking hat. What was he doing? Oh,
man. It was great. But yeah, he nudges me, tries to get me to say something. And I just like really quietly look at him and I'm like, fuck you. Just like really quiet though.
Yeah.
But like
everybody
the fact that I said it so slow, his mom was like paying attention to what Kurt was doing, and she's like, "Oh, was that an F-bomb?" Oh, and I'm like, oh yeah, I swear a lot. Like I'm not swearing at all around you guys, I guess. But
man, you should just gotten like stood up and been like, yeah, I've known Brandon for a while now, and sometimes he comes to my apartment and eats food out of my fridge that we don't want, and yeah, congratulations.
You know, my couch always has at least one more stain after he leaves. Usually it's more than that, but
yeah, you son of a bitch. You're somebody else's problem now, though.
Yep. So then, as I was trying to bounce out of there, as one does, I was trying to say goodbye to everybody, and I wanted to say bye to Brandon and Hillary. And as I stand up to do that, I'm like waiting for a second because like something was going on. I don't know what it was, but I was standing by. And this woman comes up to me. She was giving out cards to people. They're doing this whole thing where you write a card to the person for their 1 year anniversary, or for the married couple or whatever, for their 1 year anniversary. So I was like, oh yeah, like, thank you. I'll write something. And then I did it. And she comes back around later as I'm about to leave, and she's like, thank you so much for writing that card. And then like goes off for like 5 minutes about how nice it is and how cool that idea is. And she wanted to do that with like one of her classes that she had taught once. And she did that. And then they sent it to the people, all the like kids after they had graduated that year. They sent out the letters to them, but she never had any feedback. And she goes on and on. She starts talking about Germany and how people in Germany are like, they lack that level of politeness that other people have. And I'm like, okay, what are we fucking doing here?
Lady, get out of my car. I'm trying to leave.
Went fucking off, dude. I was there for like 20 minutes, just like standing there like, okay, yeah, like clearly like not talking. And at one point she said like, oh, I should let you get to like dancing. Like it looks like you're, you know, and I'm kind of saying everything in this conversation anyways. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know, thanks. You have a good night. And then she goes off for another 5 minutes. She's like, I'm sorry, I just have to say this really quick. She talks about how when she has caffeine, she doesn't drink, but when she has caffeine, she gets all wound up and talks to people and like acts drunk. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
You're too nice of a guy. I would have been like, listen, bitch, get the fuck out of my way. I'm trying to leave.
It's like somebody super important in Hillary's life. So I didn't want to like mess that up. It's like her best. I don't know how they're related. They're related in some way or another. Long story short, so all of that ends, and then I'm like fed up, and I'm like, I'm not even going to say like a normal goodbye. I'm just going to fucking get out of here as quick as possible. So I go up to Josh and Leandra, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm leaving. And then Josh is like, you know what? We saw what just happened to you. I'm like, oh, you did? Well, thanks for fucking nothing. And I said that. I was so mad. And his mom's sitting there and she just bursts out laughing. I'm like, you watched me all that time. I didn't say anything. And she just like keeled over laughing.
They just, we saw that train wreck. We could have saved you, but we just decided not to.
I'm like, I was just abused. You just watched me getting abused and you did nothing. You know that I can't stand up for myself. You know that I don't have that. What the fuck? I could say this to him because I know him, but not to a fucking stranger. So then I storm off and his mom's just like laughing as like Josh and Leandra are like, I don't know what we were supposed to do. But I'm like, fuck you, anything.
Punch her. Just like knock her out.
Tackle that bitch. And then I said bye to everyone else and I couldn't find Brandon and Hillary. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm leaving. I'm not getting roped into anything else. I was furious when I left that wedding.
Sounds like it.
And the cupcakes were great.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time at the wedding.
Yeah, the rest of my week was super chill. The students are out of town, and as some of you may know, I work at a student property, and sometimes it sucks dick because students are fucking dumb and they've never lived anywhere before. So my job is like twice as hard as another property. Students are gone, so now I literally don't work unless like somebody's moving out or moving in.
That's nice, man. Well,
good shit.
Me, if you're asking how I'm doing.
I'm about to. How have you been?
Pretty good.
You had a fun little day, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty good. You know, it's I think officially the first week of my vacation has just gone and went, right?
Yeah.
So it was pretty chill on Sunday. Had to work at the taco truck, which is fine. It's no big deal. It's kind of slow because, you know, I think it's, you know, students aren't around and the fair's in town.
Yeah.
But then also, I had some relatives come down and visit from down south. Mm-hmm. So we had like a get together at my house and we drank and ate food and we played La Loteria for monies. Oh, nice. So much monies. It was funny because I was like, every time I was like, look, we're going to play regardless if you guys want to play. And I'm like, I like start pointing at people like, I'm taking your money. I'm taking your money. I'm taking your money. And I was doing pretty well, actually. Sierra also played with us.
Yeah.
And she was raking in the dough. She's like, I don't have any money to play with. I was like, here's a loan of $5. Like you got to pay me back or whatever. She did pretty good. And, you know, to the point where we got to the end of the, you know, we kept playing. We played for a good time. And then we said, you know what? Fuck it. Last game, $5 a pop. So people are like, oh, fuck. So everybody's just like, oh my gosh, so crazy. So it's like, there's like $35 in the pot or whatever.
Yeah.
My sister's significant other, he's not Mexican. He's like half black and half white, but he's like super down with like just kind of embracing other people's cultures.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, I'll play. And La Loteria, if you don't know, like we talked about it before, but like it's like bingo, but instead of like having like letters and numbers, it's just like random caricatures. So it's like the boot, the hand, you know, the rooster, the bird, stuff like that. So, but they're all in Spanish. So we're all counting the cards and saying them in Spanish, and he has to like try to keep up. He he did really poorly at first, and then at one point he won because it's like 3 games of bingo, so there's like 4 corners bingo and then blackout. He won bingo, and then he won 4 corners, and like he was waiting for one card to get blackout, and like someone else got it. And then we look at his card like, oh, bro, El Melon was called like 5 rounds ago, dog.
No.
Oh, we felt really bad for him. He's like, it's okay, man. I'm learning. It's, it's my fault. He didn't get upset about it, So the last game, he was waiting for one card. He's like, oh, fuck, I need this one card. And like, I need one card. Another homie need another card. I'm like, oh God, we're so close. Card gets called. It's not mine. It's not, my sister's, man or whatever. It's a cousin of mine. He's like, yes, he won the money. I was like, oh, dude, this sucks. And then like the dealer, then like what he'll do is he'll show the cards that are left. So people can see like, oh, that's a card I needed or whatever.
Yeah.
To confirm it or whatever. And he goes, fuck, they called the card you need. They had already called before. I was like, dude, you fucking, he couldn't catch a break. We also had like a mariachi like group show up and they played music, which was a lot of fun.
It's fucking crazy. I've never had any bands show up to my house just for like a family get together.
Yeah, it was like a lot of fun, and they played songs that people would call up, and I don't know too many because I know Mexican music, but I know there's specific music that they can play or whatever songs that they know, and that's like a certain genre of music, and I'm not too familiar with that. There is one song that I know for sure they play, and they played it. It's my favorite. And then there's another song that everybody seemed to enjoy because everybody essentially knows the chorus to it, and it's just about like the song's about like I'm the king or whatever. That's like El Rey or whatever. It's like I'm the king, and people like know that song, and so whenever that got song played like 4 or 6 times, like something around that, and it was a good fun time.
Yeah, dude.
And then today went to the fair with Sierra. We saw the animals. I like seeing the pigs. I like seeing the cows. We also I won her a prize after very, very poorly trying to win prizes in other games. I went on the Ferris wheel, got a shitty ceviche. I do this every year. Every year I go to the fair and I say, you know what? I'm not getting Mexican food. It's really bad. And it's not like it's gross. It's just not good. But every year I end up getting it. It's just a tradition. So I got it.
Sure, dude. I feel you.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Nice.
And now here I am with you and just enjoying your company and your presence and your aura, all about it.
You're so sweet. Mm-hmm. You're such a sweetie.
Anime wise, what's up? What's good with you though?
Yo, man, I'm caught up with all that shit.
All of it?
Let me tell you, I've been watching some Darling in France. I've been watching some Megalobox, Steins Gate Zero. Mm-hmm. Man, I've been watching Gun Gale Online Alternative, sort of, all that shit. Man, I'm still watching My Hero Academia. And I feel like there's probably another show that I'm forgetting. Oh, yeah. Hinamatsuri.
It's 6.
Fucking love it.
Nice, man.
They're great shows.
I'm
Such a good time.
I'm caught up with everything that was on when I watched anime.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
so you're like a couple episodes
I'm
behind.
an episode behind on everything except for Major the Second, which I watched last night, which is the best. I fucking love that show. Nice. So, yeah, everything's really good. I was telling you that before this, me and Sarah started watching Hinamatsuri together, and it's a really good show. It's I love the animation. I think it's really funny. Mm-hmm. There's some really heartfelt, charming moments, and there's just some really wacky shit that happens.
Some good characters.
The middle school girl ends up being a bartender.
It's the funniest shit.
Oh my god, I love when she's trying to pretend like she's not there, and her teacher comes in and she's just making a weird face,
black face, like.
And he's just like, something's wrong with her face or whatever. And it's just she's trying to make herself look different. Yeah. Fucking solid show. So I'm really liking that show a lot.
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of good shows this season, actually.
I'm having a good time.
Cool, man. Do you want to get to the news? We don't got a lot, so let's just get into it.
So we don't have a lot of news. A couple of fun little facts for you guys here. First off, there's the show, The Promised Neverland. It's coming out soon. They released a new promotional video. I watched it. I thought it looks pretty cool.
I saw it too. It looks pretty cool.
Starts out and it shows you and it's like, oh, it's a sweet little show and look at how fun it is. And halfway through it gets all sinister. Mm-hmm. I was digging that. I was pretty into that feel.
Yeah, and the the videos, really, there's no animation to it. It's just I think it's just images from the manga probably, and
yeah,
it looks really good. And I'm excited for this show, even though the main character's a girl and I'm a sexist pig, and I just can't. I don't know how to get him immersed in the show if the main character's a girl. Ugh.
You'll figure it out. I believe in you.
I have a classmate that's like that. He's like, the main character's a girl, can't do it. Sorry.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
This is also he's a shitty classmate. He's also
he's just
he's a dude. I mean, everybody that knows him knows he's a shitty dude. He also plays League of Legends, and he just refuses to play with girl characters.
Doesn't play any of the girl
he's
characters.
He's like, I don't do it. He's like, I can't do it. He's like, they're no good. I was like, what are you?
Oh man!
All my homies that listen to the show know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. He's a piece of shit. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm super stoked for the Promised Neverland. So
yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
Not till next year though. So
we'll get there eventually. It's okay.
Yeah, we're almost halfway through this year. So
yeah, hell yeah. So Australia Netflix is doing some good shit for anime right now. They're putting on a bunch of good stuff. Yeah, man, it makes me kind of jealous. They get Your Name on Netflix. Trigun, Samurai Champloo, Magi. Lupin the Third, The Castle of Cagliostro.
We got that one too.
Yeah, I think that one's the Miyazaki one, right?
Yeah, that one just popped up on my Netflix.
Yeah, that one just came out. They got Erased now. Tokyo Ghoul.
Boo.
Full Metal Alchemist, and the movie, and the Blue Exorcist movie. So they're some good shit.
Who would have thunk it, man?
Came out at once in Australia.
If you're in Australia, congratulations. You're going to have a good time.
Fuck yeah, you are.
Except the boy Trigun. So good.
Yeah, just watch Trigun.
All
the rest suck.
Trigun's trash.
Definitely. Hey, so Princess Principal, a little show we've talked about before, it's getting an English dub now, so you can actually watch it and be prepared for the movies.
That we still know nothing about. We don't know if it's a recap. We know there's 6 of them, though.
Yeah, there's 27 movies coming out.
there's a lot of them coming out. Cool. I'll for sure check that out.
I don't have much more news. We did get a release date on that show that you and I have both been pretty into.
Oh my God.
Backstreet Girls coming out soon. It's going to be July 3rd, the first date, which is the day before we leave for Anime Expo.
We're leaving on the 4th? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, traveling's going to suck.
Yeah.
I mean, will it suck? Because people should be.
Maybe we're leaving on the 3rd. Who fucking knows?
No, I think we're leaving on the 4th because I think Anime Expo starts on the 5th.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not in charge of that.
I don't know.
You talk to my people. My people talk to your people.
Yeah. Well, I don't have people. I am my people.
Okay, well, my people will talk to your people.
Yeah. Also, there's a list that Crunchyroll came out with of all these live action movies and shows that are coming out soon.
And I got them. Don't worry about them. I'll read them out loud.
All right.
Some of them are off the list because they've already been released. You know,
yes.
like the one that we're going to talk about right now, or the one that we talked about last week, Kakiguri, Mob Psycho. You know, that being said.
Yeah, those were both on the list, and I'm like, bitch, you late.
Bitch, I fucking know. Anyway, so shows, movies.
These are all coming out in 2018 this year.
So first off, Bleach. Everybody knows that.
Yep. People have been stoked.
You've heard about this when people call Bleach, Naruto, and what's the last one?
One Piece.
The big 3.
Yeah. Which I'm surprised Fairy Tail isn't included in that, but whatever.
Would you argue Fairy Tail should be included in it?
Yes.
Because I think it should. Okay, time out before we get into this.
Okay.
This being said, I know very little about Bleach. I've seen some of the first season. You know, I've never read any of the manga.
Yeah.
I've literally seen nothing of Fairy Tail. But from what I've gathered is that the Bleach anime did get canceled. Yeah. And the Fairy Tail one is still continuing, and they're just fucking going hard.
So that's exactly why I have a big argument for Fairy Tail. Yeah. And
I've heard that and then people who talk about the manga for Bleach also seem to be really disappointed with the way that ends also.
Yeah.
So, again, haven't seen Fairy Tail. Don't even want to fucking attempt to because it's just so daunting.
Right.
But if people seem to love it, fine, good for them.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I've always questioned that. I was like, why is Bleach considered one of the big 3 when it kind of failed, right? And the fact that it didn't technically get a real ending.
Yeah. And so I don't remember when it was, but it was at an anime expo that I had gone to. And they were talking about the new Fairy Tail being released on whatever, or maybe it was manga or something. And they were asking, like, who here is caught up with Fairy Tail for, like, what's released in the United States? And, like, there were a bunch of people that raised their hands. Like, okay, and now who here is caught up with Fairy Tail on, like, what's aired in Japan? And then a lot of people were raising their hands, but it was, like, a significant amount less.
Yeah.
And they were like, whoa, okay, that's like, whew, man, I'm not even caught up yet. And we're the ones that are, like, releasing it.
Yeah, we're the ones making it,
yeah. And like, what about, who's caught up with the manga? And there were only like 2 people raising their hands and this giant audience. They're like, oh my God, everyone should applaud them.
What a bunch of nerds.
Holy shit.
Now, I have a buddy that I think he reads Fairy Tail. He seems to really like it. Anyways, yeah. So Bleach, as of now, as it stands right now, considered to be one of the big three.
Absolutely.
In anime. I feel people keep trying to start a new big three, like, oh, the new big three, and like My Hero is a part of it for some,
My Hero is one of those shows that might go on forever.
Yeah.
And like,
I'd be totally down with it because I love
it.
I think the big three is more like it's super mainstream, but it's also super shonen. So it's just like, that's why it gets that rap.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I like those. I like the two, because out of the three, I've seen two of them, and I like them. And I don't think there's anything wrong. I think people should be shamed for liking mainstream anime.
Absolutely not.
Because sometimes like, oh, you watched that? Like, oh, that's so lame. You should be watching this really obscure thing. But like, dude, it's
shut
all
the fuck up. It's fun. Who cares?
I was like, where did you find that? Oh, on Crunchyroll. That's what I fucking thought, asshole. Like,
you dumb bitch.
I'm on Funimation.
Yeah.
I'm on Livewire or whatever. What's it called? High Dive.
Livewire.
What's it called? Is it Dive? Is it just High Dive?
It's High Dive, yeah.
What's the new one that we need to get?
I think that's the one.
Okay, we should work on this.
And there's Verve, which is a whole other thing.
Anyways, okay, so that's the first one. Second one, Battle Angel Alita, right? Or Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this.
Mm-hmm. This one's actually getting like a theatrical release, in the United States. Like it's like a remake.
Isn't it being made by James Cameron?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's got what's the name of the guy that like he always plays German characters. He often not plays German characters. Uh-huh. He was the dentist in Django Unchained.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
Yeah. Definitely him. Yep.
I like that one. You know what I'm talking about?
Me too. I'm having a really hard time. I'm bad with names. Just a fun little fact.
You're bad with names unless they're in Japanese.
No. Who? What did you just point at?
I just point at all your stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
All of it. Name them all.
I don't know.
Name them all.
Azunya.
Mm-hmm.
And Yui.
Mm-hmm.
As I go to the right, I'm like, oh, and here's Levi, you know, Japanese name. Mikasa.
Yeah, Tsukasa. Anyways, I just made Trip just point at his figure to start naming them. Yeah, cool. So I want to see this. It's interesting because I've never seen Battle Angel Alita.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to watch whatever, maybe a movie. I'm sure it's a movie or some episodes.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, because we're going to for sure review this when it comes out. Next up, this one, I'm going to butcher this. Here we go. Chihayafuru. This is about some chick that wants to play some sort of card game.
Yeah, you looked it all up. Yeah. I don't remember what it's called.
It's some competitive thing in Japan, and I don't know. It looks like it's gonna be bad. Anyways,
it's like shogi, but cards, maybe.
This next one's Last Hero, but it's got that name in the front.
Inuyashiki.
Yeah, it's about that old guy that ends up having he becomes like half like android or whatever, and he fucking just. Oh, so fucking! I love that anime. It's by the guy that made Gauntz, so it's gonna be good. I can't wait. And it looks, in my opinion, it looks very good.
It does look like it would be good.
Okay, next up, Kids on the Slope.
Oh man, I don't know how this is gonna be though. I'm pretty concerned about this one.
I think it might come off as pretty cheesy.
It'll probably be like the same thing as Anohana.
Oh yeah, where they stay super true to it, but it's just still not good for some reason.
Yeah,
it's like, oh man, they fucking put so much effort in this, but they're just like, meh, whatever.
Well, I don't know, something about it just looks so fake, but they put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah,
I think it's a matter of maybe lighting, definitely the frames per second.
Yeah, we've talked about this. Frame rate's always different out there. Next up, Gintama Part 2. We just talked about Gintama Part 1 last week, and that came out last year, so it makes sense for Part 2 to come out this year.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm super stoked to check this because I really enjoyed the first part, and I have no idea where it comes, what's going to come because I never saw any more Gintama, so I'm excited. This looks like it's going to be fun.
Whenever news comes out about live action things, now I've seen it compared several times after we've watched Gintama, because that's how shit works sometimes. Yeah. You start noticing it pop up everywhere, and people argue you know what? Live action anime adaptations suck, but Gintama was good.
It is really good, yeah. Next up, Marmalade Boy. I have no idea what it is. Like the name though. I'm feeling it.
Do you feel like you're a Marmalade Boy?
Oh yeah, sticky as fuck.
Hell yeah.
Next up, After the Rain, which is an anime that came out this year, actually, right? Earlier.
Yep, this year's super pretty show.
Yeah. So this should be interesting. I wonder how they deal with the tabooness of a high school student fall in love with an older man.
Dude, get that tabooty,
Next up, Real Girl.
Okay.
Tell me about this.
Okay.
But it's about a girl who is real, apparently.
Is it like Lars and the Real Girl? Is that how you think it might be?
Don't know what that is. Don't care.
What? Ryan Gosling.
I've never seen that movie. Okay. But I know it's about, he falls in love with a sex doll or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen it. Okay. He's kind of fat in that movie.
Sure.
Next up, I can't. Here we go. This is one that tripped like here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Saki Achiga Hen episode of Side A. Don't know what this is. Didn't look it up. Don't give a fuck. Next up, Rainbow. Next up, Rainbow Days.
Rainbow Days.
Don't know what that is either.
People
Last
are
one,
stoked about
Laughing on the Clouds. Don't know what it is. All right, that's fucking all of it. So we're gonna watch most of these live action things. I feel like not all of them.
Yeah, true.
But hey, let's fucking get into this week's episode. Yeah,
I'm down. Are you down?
I'm down. I'm so down.
All right, so we're talking about Mob Psycho 100. Mm-hmm. It's a little show that dropped on Netflix recently, like we were just saying before. But in case you skipped ahead to where we're talking about Mob Psycho 100 on Netflix, now is the time that I share with you that Mob Psycho 100 is on Netflix live action. Go and watch the anime, please.
Yeah,
it's on Crunchyroll. I think it's even on like Hulu.
It's I might be on Hulu. I know it's dubbed on Funimation.
Dubbed on Funimation.
And like I was saying earlier, I don't know if I said it on air, but it's a great dub in my opinion. So, it's worth the watch if you don't like subs.
Yeah.
Also, fucking full spoilers because like I don't give a fuck. This is like one of those like
it's been out for a couple years or so.
Yeah, and you should also like just watch the real anime. I don't want to have to fucking have to walk on eggshells to be like not spoil this shitty.
It's a great
thing
show.
For you. Yeah, the anime is great. Yeah, and the live action is okay.
So if you listened to our episode last week, you know how we feel about Kakegurui.
Yeah,
I think that sums it up. I had an easier time watching this.
Yeah, me
for
too.
Sure. There was something about it that was just really palatable. Mm-hmm. I think it's because there were moments that were like, okay, I never laughed. I never felt like super hyped like I did during the anime. But there were a few points where I was like, oh.
There was one moment where I was like, damn, I'm pretty hyped right now.
Yeah.
And it lasted all of like 2 seconds. I was like,
and it was in like episode 2?
Yeah. You know exactly what we're talking about.
I sure fucking do.
Okay, so the quick rundown of what Mob Psycho 100 is about. It's about a boy who is has psychic powers. And he, just wants to be popular and wants to have this girl fall in love with him or whatever. But he's really bad at just kind of everything, right? Like he's a weak link. He's kind of creepy. He's really shy. And people take advantage of him all the time. And he kind of doesn't show any emotion. At least that's how it's supposed to be in the anime, right? And he also works for some guy and like he's an exorcist, right? That's what he does. He's supposed to, he gets rid of like evil spirits or whatever, but he's obviously like just like he's a con artist. He's a con artist essentially. And he's telling Mob that, hell, like I'll train you or whatever, but he obviously is just taking advantage of Mob like everybody else. And that's what the laydown of it is, and fucking shit happens and fucking that's it.
Yeah. So we start out and we see a little bit of Mob in his life, and then we jump to like Reagan, and he's out like helping this couple with an exorcism. They say that there's a ghost that scares them in the parking garage that like makes people hit their heads on the ceiling because they jump up so high. So he goes and checks it out, and then there is a ghost there, and he tries to exorcise it by throwing salt at him, and it doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
So he calls in Mob to go and like take care of it and exorcise the ghost. And that is really the only moment we see where he's kind of like a shitty exorcist.
Yeah. Besides that, he's essentially just a glorified masseuse.
Yeah. And it's a joke that they made like a couple of times in the anime in different ways that worked out. But they really drove the point across that he is a con man in the anime. Like he's a piece of shit and he sucks and he's the worst. But they didn't really make me feel that way in the show at all, in the live action.
Yeah, you know what? That opening scene where he's doing like the Exorcist and he's throwing salt at people is pretty spot on in my opinion. Like, it's true to the anime at least. Like the whole calling Mob over, him throwing the salt a specific way. Like, that's pretty solid. But yeah, the characterization of like Reagan or whatever. I think they missed. Like they
absolutely.
I'm supposed to dislike this guy because I remember like watching the anime and be like,
I fucking despised him,
and I'm like, I can't stand this guy. And then at some point there's a turn, like, you know what? Yeah. I do kind of like him.
It's like, holy shit, Reagan's like the best.
And then by the end, I'm just like, you know what? Fucking hats off to him. I really, really enjoy who he is as a person. But in the anime, it's like, they make in the live action, they make him like. he is taking advantage of people, but he's also helping them. Like
he's helping them a lot.
He's legitimately like he's he's super smart to the point where like, oh, you have a problem or whatever, like, and he's just like, oh, you're just bending over too much on the computer. I'll give you a massage, you'll be fine or whatever. Or he's just like, oh, someone's following you. He just takes the guy's phone and turns the GPS off, So he's like, you got a ghost in your fucking photo, Photoshop it out. He's helping them, and he's a nice guy, which means like, oh, so that whole thing, that whole arc that I feel when I'm watching, Mobs Like 100.
It's important to his character. Yeah,
it's completely lost.
It's totally lost, and he's not even charging them much money either. He's charging them like $30, and he gets one customer a day.
Yeah,
that's like not any money.
Yeah. He should totally be upselling them or whatever, but he's not.
Yeah.
And I know that's an issue with you because like you really like Reagan's probably, is he your favorite character of the show?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's really dope. I don't think he's my favorite character. I like him a lot though. And like it sucks that they'll take such a good character and just totally drop the ball with him. And it's fucked because in the end, in the live action, they feel like they pay attention to other characters who should really just not even be there.
They shouldn't have been written in the way that they were. And they get rid of other characters that are just background characters. Yeah. So it's like, why did you choose
those?
These?
Yeah, absolutely.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So, and that being said, so characters I liked in the anime a lot were the Body Improvement Club or whatever.
Absolutely.
I think that's what they were called. They weren't called the Bodybuilding Club. They were called
and I have a problem with that too. The fact that in the live action, they call it the Bodybuilding Club. Yeah. It had a different ring to it. Yeah. And now here's something that I don't know. It might have been translated weird.
Yeah.
We have no way of knowing that.
Did you notice at the end of every episode, it would be like translated by Ben? It was just like one guy did it. Like he just like, they just gave it to him. Like, fuck, I guess I'll figure it out. I took a year of Japanese in high school or whatever. That being said, the subtitles aren't horrible in this.
No, they're fine.
Yeah, I'm not dissing on that. But it is odd that it's called the Bodybuilding Club and not the Body Improvement Club. Because those are my favorite characters in the anime. Like just the collective of them. I fucking love them. There's something about them that just like makes me super happy to see. And they are in the live action, but they've like dwindled the numbers down. As opposed to being like 5 of them, there's 3. And some of them are kind of look similar to what they're supposed to look like. But
well, they're all supposed to be ripped as fuck.
And they're not.
They clearly can't be.
Yeah, because they're in high school.
Yeah, and that's kind of a problem with the rest of the show too, is that that's one of the things that makes it so hard to adapt this show. First off, it has a very unique animation style, but then the character design doesn't come across because you can't have these dudes that are yoked as shit.
Yeah, or those weird like, One Punch Man eyes or whatever.
Yeah.
Those round chins, absolutely. Something about having a show be so stylized,
Yeah.
Just it's hard to translate over. Like, oh wait, that's what you're supposed to look like? That's a hard sell is what it is, essentially. Like, you're telling me that's what that's supposed to look like in live action? I don't think so. So Body Improvement Club, they're there, they do their bit. I like them as a group.
I think they're my favorite part of the live action.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that being said, they sound like they're amazing.
No. I'm not like, oh, you got to see the Body Improvement Club in this show. It's no.
They should have just got fucking bodybuilders. Like, here we go, just put them in there. If you're gonna go all out, might as well.
And they're like, I'm 13.
Yeah,
that would have been fucking funny.
Yeah. It's but get Terry Crews up in there or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. See, that shit's hilarious. You just need to like have I don't know, well,
man. Because this is a TV adaptation or whatever. You know?
And they call it a drama.
Yeah, they call it drama. So it makes sense for them to cut out those 2 characters. Like, what? Wait, hold on. You're telling me I'm gonna pay 5 actors to do this thing where I only need 3 to have lines? Just kind of like later on, Mob's brother goes to the psychic place, whatever. Yeah, the awakening lab, and there should be more characters, but like, cool, we only need 3 of them, and they only put 3 of them, and I'm like, fucking bummers, dog.
Yeah, and they had to change parts of the story because of the choices that they made, like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But this was actually made by a dude named Koichi Sakamoto. And it's his first TV series. He's done movies before, but this is the first television series that he's done. He's made a bunch of Kamen Rider movies since 2009. He made 6.
Okay.
And he's made other things that nobody's ever heard of.
Nice. I like that.
So
he's a fucking new guy in the industry. Listen up, new guy. Fucking pick up your shit. Learn a lesson here. I faith in you. You're not complete trash.
Yeah.
Because and there's other characters that his mobs. Okay, they also do this thing with. Let's just talk about Mob real quick, right?
Okay, I would love to.
So they changed his characterization. In my opinion, pretty like obviously, right? Like
yeah.
in the anime, he is a very meek, quiet person, but he's also kind of like, you know, he's not like depressed or a creepy dude, you know, like
no, he's got like almost no personality.
Exactly. He's you know, like when you say like, oh, that guy's vanilla, you know, that's just they're supposed to be like plain as fuck. That's what Mob's supposed to be.
Mob is a background character that we're following,
and exactly. He's like the side character that got his own anime or whatever. But for some reason, like they decided to make Mob like he just pines over this girl, which is a thing. He does pine over a girl, but it's almost the entire driving force of everything. You know, just like it's just like, oh man, I love this chick, and he's like following her and stuff, and he helps her. But then I realized it comes off as pretty creepy. Like at one point, someone calls him creepy and was like, you know what, I agree with you. I'm not liking this Mob because like, I don't feel bad for the fact that like he has no emotions. It doesn't know how to express himself. I feel just weird that it's like, oh, what a creepy dude is how I feel.
Well, because in the anime, he's just like, I have a crush on this girl.
What do I do? Yeah.
Yeah. And that was like it. He's like, yeah, I definitely like this girl and she doesn't know me that well, but whatever. Like,
yeah. And
I want her to like me.
And then what he learns is like, I guess I need to become a better man. Body improvement. Here I come, you know, and like, and it's just this, it's not the right, you know, the right answer to his fucking problem, but that's the funny part of it, you know, because he thinks he's gonna get yoked and she's gonna fall in love with him. Not gonna happen. But fucking the fact that like they just made him like just so weird and creepy, I did not like. Also, the bowl cut wasn't bad. I hated his sideburns. They just looked they looked bad. I was like, that was just. I did not like, and then when they make him go like Super Saiyan or whatever, when they make him go Mob 100,
because his hair's supposed to be like kind of flowing because he's overwhelmed with like psychic energy, so like, everything's floating around him, which includes his hair. And they decided to instead gel up his hair and make it kind of like spiked out and weird.
They make him look like fucking like a bootleg Dragon Ball Z, which is like I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like I saw, I was like, oh wow, look at little Goku over here, fuck, you know, which was like super upsetting.
It was,
and so you know. I know it's not the actor's fault. That was his job, was to do what you know, he was told. But I just don't like the way that they decided to portray Mob in this show. He was full of emotion all the time when he's not supposed to have emotion, because that's the point. He's supposed to bottle everything up and hit 100 and go fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But he was always like super sad or whatever, depressed. And I was like, he's just such a fucking sulk, you know. And it's like, I don't want to fucking watch you. What else was there? I guess. They also, I feel like they toned down his powers. I feel like in the anime, it almost seemed like using his powers almost felt like it didn't matter. Like
it was just like cheating.
He's like, here it is, and he just like do anything. But here when he was fighting this guy that was all scarred up. Remember in the anime? Yeah. I felt like he worked his ass. Like he just like beat the shit out of him without even trying. He's like, oh, it's like you're trying to fight me or whatever. Okay, whatever. But in the anime, it was like he's like really struggling to like keep up with this other dude. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if I like that. I like the fact that Mob is super strong, but he just refuses to use his powers.
Yeah.
In this one, I was like, I feel like Mob is very strong, but he isn't like the strongest or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yeah. So I didn't like that about Mob. It just sucks because like I'm supposed to like this main character, and I don't. So.
All right. So other characters, Reagan, they did the best they could to make him look like Reagan. Didn't really look like him. Reagan's supposed to be
like a white guy, you know? But he's not, because he's Japanese and he's just some Asian dude with like blonde hair, and it just looks bad.
He literally doesn't look like him other than the outfit, but like whatever. If you saw the show, you're like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
I feel like he did get the mannerisms right. Like he did a good job of doing the thumbs up and like the really weird, like the salt throwing bit. He the part where he's doing the massages. Like that actor, I feel like, did portray Reagan's wackiness very well. That being said, he didn't do. We were saying earlier,
he's aloof as fuck in the anime, and he never made me feel like he cared about anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like in the same way. Yeah, I don't know.
And that sucks because Reagan's your favorite.
Yeah.
They also brought in the kid that like is from Black Vinegar School or whatever, and he's like also a psychic, and they cut off his hair or whatever. Here's one thing. There are times in the show where I'm like, you know what, these special effects aren't that bad. And then there's times where I'm just like, oh, these special effects are fucking trash. Like, they're just like, the fight between him and Mob is just so underwhelming. You know, it really was. It's so fucking dope in the anime. They're throwing through walls, you know, and like shit's getting like people, you know, things just getting torn apart. And the thing is, like, Mob's getting his ass, you know, beat in quotations in the anime, and he's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, you know, he's like supposed to have like no scratches on him and be okay.
Yeah.
And this, everybody gets hit and they're instantly bleeding. Or instantly
they spit up blood.
Yeah, they instantly have scrapes all over the face and stuff. It's just like, oh, man, I don't want... You see, this is the issue with it. Because they go live action, they have to do the same. Like, well, we have to make these more realistic. It's like, great. That's not what Mob Psycho 100 is.
No.
It's this fucking absurd thing that I like to watch.
Yeah.
And you should have picked a different show, essentially.
Which... if we are going to compare live action shows, Kakegurui did a really good job at being this surrealist, like totally fake feeling show.
Absolutely.
That's what Mob should have been, and that should have been more real. Yeah. I would have liked them more if they flip flopped.
You know what? I totally agree. If they would have done that, I would have liked it more. Both more.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a strange thing to see these things and be like, I didn't like it. And then you realize, like, this show should have been that show.
Yeah.
Oh.
They also, like, when they cut off his hair or whatever, like, Mob accidentally cuts his hair off in the fight or whatever.
Slices it off. Because there's a whole knife thing in the anime, and like, it got really dangerous, and this was a whole different thing.
This one they use glass. And I'm assuming it's for, like, censored reasons or whatever.
Probably.
When that happens, they literally shave his head bald, which is, like, super weird. It's like, wow, what a call, Like, what a commitment. But then they added a really shitty wig. But the thing is, they didn't do it right. Like, in the anime, the wig was so fucking absurd, you know?
It looked like a camel's hump times 10
on his head, Yeah. And in this one, it's just like, oh, it looks like there's a wig. And then I think only once or twice the joke comes up where, like, his wig comes off or whatever. Like, once it gets blown off, like, it blows up and he brings it down. And then one time someone pulls it down or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what a shame. This guy shaved his head for 2 bits,
And it sucks. And not only, when he first puts it on, you could tell that there's a color difference. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I get it. They did what they had to do. It's a little bit different. That's fine. But then when he's wearing it, it covers so much of his normal hair that you can't even tell from the front. You could only tell from the back at like certain angles.
For sure, yeah. So that's a bummer. They also gave one character who you like, and I personally, who you like... You don't like. This is funny. You'll explain this in a bit, but
okay.
They added the characterization of this one character who is in the anime for all of maybe 3 episodes, and not like full time all the time. She's like the president of the psychic club or whatever.
Yeah.
And in this, she is just all over the place.
She's a prominent character
all the time, and I don't know who she is. Maybe she's like an up and coming actor or something, and actress, or she's super popular. She's like a pop idol or something, and they gave her this role for that reason. But I did not want to see any of her. She was so annoying.
And I totally get that. But like, the reason that I think she fits so well in this is that she was the one person that committed to the absurdity that Mob Psycho 100 should be. Because in the anime, she's like really serious at times, and she's like, hey, this is some psychic shit. We gotta get down to it. But she has the backing force of like a couple other side characters to be like, oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then like,
she's trying out.
Yeah. So she's trying to take on everybody's role. So she has to be like whack as fuck instead of just being like, oh man, I think some psychic shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna investigate this. Instead, she was just like over the top, like excited about everything, which I think she was the best actor because she played her role the best that she could. And it was a difficult role to play.
Yeah.
That being said, I did not like her in any scenes.
Yeah, I didn't like her at all. They also, Mob's love interest also becomes more prominent in this show or whatever. Like, she has way more scenes than she's supposed to. She has way more lines. She has this really weird... I don't know if this is in the anime, if this is like something she does maybe once.
She probably did it once.
She probably did it once, and they just probably it's like, oh, cool, that's your characterization. And essentially what she does is she'll say something, but she'll say one word that's wrong, instead of saying like, let's give an example. Instead of doing like, oh man, you reap what you sow. She'll be like, hey, you sow what you eat or whatever. And then it's just like, I think you meant this word, and it's not only Mob who corrects her. Everybody corrects her.
Yeah.
Like her friends correct her, other, side characters correct her. And they're like, I think you mean this word and not the word you just said. And then she'll be like, well, fuck you, whatever. It's the same thing. Who gives a fuck, Essentially. I mean, she didn't say it like that. I wish she would have said it like that. And it's just like, it's playing off the bit that she's dumb or whatever.
Yeah, she's ditzy, and that's why Mob likes her, because she's cute. Holy shit, it made me fucking hate her so quick.
Yeah, there's like the bit where she's doing karaoke, which is like, what? Why? Why am I seeing this? It came out of nowhere.
And it wasn't even like good. No offense to her.
No. I think it was on purposely supposed to be bad. I pray to God it's supposed to be bad.
I hope it was.
That was some bad karaoke.
I don't know. Yeah. Her friend said she was so good, so I wasn't sure if her friend was like...
No, her friend was sure being nice to her.
I fucking hope so.
But yeah,
it was just too long.
I feel like they added her because, or they extended her importance in the show because it's supposed to be, in quotations, a drama. So like, oh, this is the love interest, and there has to be some sort of driving force to have Mob do what he does, besides just doing things just cause or whatever.
Right.
So that's why she's there, and I didn't like that at all. What else is pretty bad?
So Dimple is a big character
issue for you. This bummed you out.
It's not even like an issue. It's just that I wasn't sure how it was going to happen. When I heard that this was going to be a live action, I'm like, what are they going to do with Dimple? Because he's just this stupid fucking looking. Yeah, I didn't know what it was going to be at all.
Yeah.
And they did a pretty okay job at him, I thought.
Yeah, I think so too.
They changed his name to Ekubo, which could mean dimple or something similar to that in Japanese, but that was an interesting choice for me.
I thought maybe it meant like ectoplasm kind of thing, like that's what I figured, but it could mean dimple. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why they wouldn't. You were just saying like, because in the dub they call him Dimple for sure, and in the sub they also call him Dimple. Why not just call him Dimple?
Just call him Dimple.
But yeah, his characterization I actually really liked, and his special effects that they use, like it's this 3D,
they did it pretty. Yeah, honestly, he was the most similar to his character in the anime, but they didn't flesh him out enough because in this live action, they didn't have any moments that jumps to the perspective of Dimple where he's like got an internal monologue going on and we don't know his motives ever. So we kind of just see him as a supporting character, which sucks, I thought.
Well, there's this, and the big issue, and here's the big spoiler for you, because we're going to, at the end, there's one big bad or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of like in the anime, there's, one big bad that shows up, and some other side character who shows up in the anime comes and defeats that guy, and that's how that ends.
And it was great.
And it was cool. It looked really good. And this one, the way the big bad got defeated was Dimple, like, possesses him and eats all of his power. Like, he's like, oh, he has no more power. I ate all of his... fucking stuff. And it was like, so Dimple saved the day. Dimple does do something like that in the anime. He gets like caught up in the jar or whatever, and he eats all the evil spirits inside of it. And then when he comes out, like the guy's just like, oh, there's one, like the biggest, baddest spirit's gonna come out and he's gonna fight for me or whatever. And he open it and Dimple comes. Yeah, Dimple comes.
Dimple looks like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, Dimple's
so
like,
it's hilarious.
Yeah. So it's a weird, I guess, for like a convenience sake, time's sake, maybe a budget, it would make sense to be like, hey man, let's just have the ending be this, as opposed to trying to do this big old grandiose thing like it was in the anime, which is easy to do because like all like, well, what's the issue with, oh, you just gotta draw it? Yeah, let's fucking do it. As opposed to, wait, what do we need to do? Hold on, that's all of our budget going to this one thing.
Yep.
Which would look cool if they would have done it right. But honestly, it could also look bad if they didn't have the money to do it. So
that's true.
It's their call to make. And whatever.
I mean, okay, so they changed the villain.
Yeah.
From being like just an actual villain, they changed him to be like some dude with weird motives that like also ran a takoyaki truck.
Yeah. So there's also, there's that reoccurring thing where Mob gets wisdom from some guy that sells takoyaki, right?
Yeah.
And he's a nice guy. And for some reason at one point I was like, you know what, this guy, this got a little sus, for like a bit, because they kept showing him, and it's like, this is, and Reagan does eat takoyaki or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He does eat it. It's not like it doesn't happen, but I was like, I wonder if this is in the manga or the web series, I was like, I wonder if this is a thing. But I remember watching the anime, the guy's dressed up in the same getup as this guy is, this weird like black thing with the weird dome thing. They take off the mask and it's an old guy with a bunch of scars, and it's the same guy. He has a bunch of scars. But yeah, his motive is, look, man, I'm an Esper also. I have all this power and no one likes me. I'm not popular. So I've gonna become popular. I'm gonna take over the world. And then Reagan's just like, no one's never like you. You're a loser. You'll never be popular. And that's what like that's what like hurts his feelings. He's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna destroy everything now or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
It was weird. I I thought it was kind of cool that they just had this other character that was just kind of there and would give words of wisdom. Besides,
I thought that was
besides
tight,
Reagan, because Reagan was just doing such a poor job of being who he's supposed to be. You know? But yeah, when then I was like, oh, he's the bad guy. I was like, what a fucking twist or whatever, you know?
So dumb.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had problems with that, and then we also normally have this like kid who's an amazing Esper. We don't know anything about him other than he just fucking kicks ass and he shows up suddenly
at the last minute.
Man, and he wasn't in there at all. And I think my biggest problem with it too was that this was all shot at the school. This whole end sequence.
And no one's there.
Pretty much when Kyle came in and we were watching it and that was all going down, that's like the second that he came over and was checking it out. My roommate Josh came in too. And I was explaining, I'm just like, yeah, I mean, this all takes place at the school instead of like a kick-ass fortress in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I mean, I want a kick-ass fortress in the middle of the woods. So I really just drove that point home. Like, it just sucks. The school could have been a kick-ass school in the middle of the woods or something. It might have been okay, but it was just like nothing. Not even a kick-ass fortress in the middle of a school. It was just like... Nothing at all, man.
It's a school where it belongs, not in the middle of nowhere.
It sucked.
And I feel like that is also, due to budgets. I feel like they're like, hey man,
definitely.
We can't afford a kick-ass fortress in the middle of the woods. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have the kids be a little more competent, and they're gonna be able to escape because apparently the bad guys are incompetent.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, which is fucking fine. Yeah, and there's like a group of people who are coming around and they're like, they're the bad Espers who are collecting other Espers and they have scars on their face. And that was kind of cool. I kind of like that. Yeah. And then I noticed in the anime, there's also people who are a part of the claw thing, right? That's what they're called, right?
Yeah, claw.
They all have scars. I'm like, oh, cool. That's a nice touch or whatever.
Yeah.
And some of them are pretty spot on. Like the guy with the sword, the guy with the big scar across his face is pretty spot on. But there's no girl.
He's not ripped as shit, and he's not like blonde with bleached tips or whatever.
But he's got a scar on his nose, so
he sure
it's
does.
Pretty spot on or whatever.
Yeah.
So I like them. I was like, oh, that's a nice thing. I was like, I don't know where this is gonna go or whatever. And the way it ends, like I was saying earlier, like Dimple takes this guy's powers, then he goes, all right, I'm done. He's like walking away and he's like, what do you mean we're done? He's like, goes, fucking Unit 7's disband. Go back to HQ. Maybe they'll tell you something to do, but I'm done or whatever. And I'm just like, fuck you. Like, that's just lazy writing. Mm-hmm. And then it resolves with like, the very end is like Mob, he gets asked by his dream girl to walk him home, and then he falls. I don't know how he fell, but he falls, right?
Yeah,
and
he
then
trips
he trips somehow, and then he ends up looking up her skirt the way you do in anime,
all the time.
And then she's just like, "Oh, you were a creepy," and it's just like, and then he corrects her, like, "I think you meant creep,"
Yeah, which is a joke that they made earlier too.
Yeah. And she goes like, "Whatever." She just leaves him there, and then like it's just that's it. It's
the end.
That's the end of it.
Good shit.
And her Mob's brother's like, hey, Mob, I still want to be like you, even though I have powers now, but I still want to be like you.
I've been wanting to talk about him for a while.
Mob's brother?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Ritsu is, he's a big character in the anime and in the live action.
Yeah.
But he's there I feel like he's there for more than Mob is.
Yeah. He almost,
He's in so many scenes. Essentially, Mob is just like attached to Ritsu.
Yeah.
And that's like it. I don't know, man. It felt weird. He felt like he was pretty similar, but like a little bit different. He was like, I don't know. He wasn't a good supporting role. He felt like he was way too prominent,
like
and
he was trying
I just
to steal
didn't
the
care.
show.
Yeah, essentially. I don't know. I could not get into him at all, and I didn't. His motives in the anime were a lot better for him, like becoming like more sinister and whatnot.
Yeah, he totally like Yeah, okay, so in the anime what he does is like he ends up like feeling super stressed and feels super guilty about like getting the thug of the school in trouble for stealing all the girls' recorders.
Yeah, which he set up.
Like the mouthpiece of the recorders, but that's because he was told to. And that's what kind of awakens his powers, this overwhelming stress.
Yeah.
But then as soon as he finds out he's got that stress, he just goes like, oh, you know what? I'll get more powerful if I keep doing fucked up shit. And he's just doing it because he likes it now.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, how does a good guy, just have such a quick turn of, face? It's like, oh, I'm a bad guy right now.
Yeah.
And I get it. He's always been jealous of the fact that Mob has powers and he doesn't have powers. But I don't think that's going to stop him from being like the good Samaritan that he is to being like, now I'm just a dirtbag.
Which they've shown way too much in the live action. They were just like, he's such a good guy. Look at how good he is.
He's so good. And it's like, oh, wait, he did one bad thing. Now he's got powers.
Yeah.
Fucking bad boy time. Here we go.
In the anime, it was a lot more convincing to me. I had an easier time believing it.
One thing I really fucking missed out on, and it's one of my favorite episodes from the anime, is the episode where they dress up as girls.
Oh, I know,
and
right?
They go to the girls' school. That is hilarious.
And they went and like fought the perverted basketball
thing.
Yeah,
I thought that was so much fun, and they didn't do it. And I was like, I get it. They did it for time constraints, whatever. Yeah. This is 12 episodes long. Like this is just as long.
It's a full length.
Yeah, it's just
but
as long.
They decided to focus way more on bullshit that does not matter.
Yeah,
but
as opposed to this other bullshit that also doesn't matter. Where it's just like,
but it was more fun.
Yeah, it was way more fun.
It added more depth to the characters in better ways than Sabomi said some shit that doesn't
make any fucking sense. Yeah,
just gibberish. Anyhow, overall, I had an easier time watching this.
Yeah,
but,
that after shitting on it completely.
Yeah, the positive things in this were the fight scenes. Some of them looked really good. Episode 2, they had like a little fight scene between the little thugs in school or whatever. And
one of the thugs who's super spot on in the anime. He's got like his pink shirt and like the black school uniform,
like pompadour
and
type
the huge
thing going on.
Pompadour, like outrageous pompadour. And they're from Salt School and they're fighting people from Black Vinegar School or whatever. And they're just whooping ass.
Man, he jumps up like. He's got a kid pinned on a pillar. He's just like standing there and he runs up the pillar. He like launches his arm back and punches him in the face as he like kicks off. I'm like, whoa, what?
Yeah,
that was nuts. That was anime as fuck.
I saw that. I was like, holy shit, Mob Psycho, calm the fuck down.
And that's where I started feeling like, are we going to get a good show?
Yeah. And then you're like, no,
that was the only like really rad fight scene.
What if that's like the one scene that the director didn't direct? He's like, yeah, somebody else did that one. Like, the one saving grace.
Man, that makes me like feel bad. Even just thinking about that being a possibility, I feel bad. I'm like, shit, dude, it could have been good. You fucked it up.
Oh man. Yeah. So there's, you know what? Honestly, just go watch the anime. It's way better. This this wasn't horrible to watch. I'm sure people who like shitty dramas would like this or whatever.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of overacting, a bunch of stupid stuff going on. I just can't get over the fact of how like all the fights led to everybody getting bloodied and scraped up. I was like, that's not right.
It was so dumb. How did you feel also about they had the like shitty psychic kids? How'd you feel about the twins? Because
they should just been twins. Why didn't they get twins? They just got like they're brothers, but like one of them, they don't look alike. One's taller than the other one. They're wearing the right clothes, but like that doesn't make it
right.
That's not enough.
They had a very bizarre look in the show too.
Yeah, one of them had like
just a circle.
One had a perfectly round head. Yeah, and the other one had like a cube.
It was so dumb. It looked hilarious.
But they were twins,
Yeah, and their power because they're twins is that they can read each other's minds, and that's literally their only power.
Yeah. Yeah, and this one they make a force field thing, right?
Yeah,
and they have the girl that can ignite, even though she's not supposed to do that, right? I don't remember.
I think she. Yeah. They had a guy that could or something, and she had something.
They had a guy that could also like do spoons. Like that was his thing. Like I'm really good at bending spoons, and they're like, okay, whatever, cool. You're not there.
I just remember a shitty like redhead boy.
Yeah, shitty redhead boy. It is what it is, man. Sometimes you get what you give. It's not the worst live action thing we've seen. Like if we're gonna put it in the list, what do you think?
I don't know.
Here we go. Hold on. Let me bring up this list real quick, and that way you can. Honestly.
Sure, while you're bringing it up, I also want to talk about how they had a lot of like Japanese drama tropes instead of anime tropes. One thing that particularly caught my attention is I don't remember his name, but the blonde psychic kid.
Yeah.
Every time that he would show up, he was supposed to be like from the rich school and supposed to be like a pretty boy type thing. And they would play harpsichord music like every time. And it reminded me so much of like around high school host club.
Yeah.
They're all like pretty boys. And it has this like stupid ass like castle-y music and whatnot.
Yeah. You know that shit. Anyways, here we go. Here's your rankings. Do you think this is better than Erase, the Netflix series?
No.
Do you think it's better than I Am Hero?
No.
Gintama the movie? Anohana?
No.
Another?
No.
Is that another? Because there's two and there's only one. Erased the movie. That's
No.
Okay. Full Metal Alchemist on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
No.
Yeah. What the fuck,
No.
dude? No, not even close. Mushishi.
No.
L Saves the World.
No.
You were about. You're thinking about it like you were about to put away at the cake.
I know.
Death Note 1, Death Note 2.
Nah.
Okay, here we go. Death Note, the Netflix movie.
The Netflix movie?
Yeah.
It did so many things wrong, but I think lower.
Is it better than Kakegurui? Oh my god.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, here we go. So that's where we're gonna put Mob.
That's hard because this was just so like it wasn't a hard thing to watch, but I didn't like any of it.
Yeah, no, I feel you. It's more like it's not like it was a hard watch. It's just there was anything that was like really good.
Yeah,
especially when you got such a great source material. I'm gonna say it's for sure better than Oran High School, but drama.
Yeah.
Is it better than? I think it's below Future Diaries in Other Worlds, which I kind of liked for some reason. But that means it's above Kakegurui also.
Yeah. I was like, if you put this fucking below Kakegurui, like what the fuck? That show was not good. This one was not either, but I liked it more.
All right, man. So that's the show. Live action Mob Psycho 100. Yeah, as you can tell, we didn't love it, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. You know,
there was a lot to talk about too.
Yeah, there's still Ico out there who's total trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways,
can't wait for live action
Live action. Oh my god, it's gonna be so good. Okay. So we don't know what we're doing next week. Actually, no, we do, right? We're doing Surgi, whatever, Sword Guy.
Yeah, Sword Guy.
The animation, which is on Netflix. I started watching it. You haven't, but I remember you like texting me being like, people say it's worse than Ico. People say it's really mediocre. People are hating this. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. It just sounds like the most middle of the road, boring ass shit. And we'll find out if it is.
I don't want to ruin it for you.
I mean, you did.
I don't want to ruin it for you.
You are.
But it's pretty, yeah, okay. That's
okay.
How I feel right now. Yeah, I'm 3 episodes in. I got, some more to do.
You watching it in English or is it only in Japanese or?
I think I'm watching it in English. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's on Netflix, so it should be.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's what we're doing next week. If you like our logo, hit up AaronFromTerryTops.com. If you like our theme song, hit up Tom Nasser. It's Nasser, NASR. Triple, where can you find us?
People can find us on Facebook. Look up the Instagram Podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Instagram Podcast. If you want to send us a tweet at Instant Ramen Pod. And you could go ahead and send us an email, instantramenpodcast@gmail.com. Please recommend some other live action shows and movies to us. Mostly shows. I feel like there are a lot of movies we have to watch, but not as many shows.
What we should do is do some live action movies and just, because these shows, they're fucking long.
And they kind of suck.
23 minutes. Do the math. For 23 minutes times 12.
Movies are much easier.
Yeah, right? Like, there's just such less time at the... dedicate to this bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the show. Anyways, this is Bye from Juan.
I'll see you around from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.